What's up, everybody? What is good? What is cracking? I put myself in the middle here. Welcome to another episode of Command This Podcast. Football is back, baby. It is September 5th, time for our pre-game preview as the Commanders kick off the 2024 season. I am Steve. I'm joined by my fantastic, wonderful co-host, Mr. Dev, who is on the corner, and Phil off to my left, my right, whichever way you want to look. And today, we're joined by, this is an enemy intel episode. So we are joined by some fellow content creators from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers community. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and welcome our guests. We got Mr. Tampa Tones and J-Lo from the Buccateers Podcast. Fellas, what is good? Thank you for tuning in. I'll give you guys a round of applause here as you're bringing it in. So thank you so much.
Wow, that's quite the warm welcome. We
for some enemy intel, I think that was pretty good.
Yeah,
if you were Cowboys or Eagles fans, we would not.
No, we would say you're welcome and kick you out. But
hey, I wouldn't expect anything less. I'd kick out a Cowboys or Eagles fan of the Bucs chat.
There you go, man. See, you know how it goes. As I post to a couple of social media posts here, but I know what's good, fellas. It's been a while. We haven't had you on since last year when the Commanders played the Bucs. I believe it was last year, wasn't it? When the Commanders played the Bucs.
We haven't talked to y'all since the draft.
You know what? I stand mistaken. You are correct.
Yeah, but I remember that draft talk. We were all convinced.
Dev got it right, man. Dev predicted Jaden Daniels, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that's right. We came on your show and we talked about it. I said Drake May. I think Phil might have said Drake May, and
I didn't care. I thought it was going to be Drake. I said, but personally, I thought Jaden was the safer pick.
Yeah, could have cared less either way. Now I'm ecstatic that we got.
Hey, that's my quarterback.
Can't blame y'all.
My quarterback till it's not.
Yeah, it's much better off having Jaden Daniels. Hindsight 2020. We haven't really seen what Drake May can do. We don't know what he's going to do, what he's going to be, but hey, it's all good. It is what it is. So without any further ado, man, let's just get right into it. So as we do on our normal enemy intel shows, we like to talk about, first and foremost, when we have guests, real quick, let's talk about your fan story. So how did you guys become fans of the Buccaneers? So Tones, we'll start with you and then we'll go to J-Lo.
Yeah, way back when, my dad, an avid DirecTV goer, NFL Sunday ticket guy himself, growing up, the Bucs happened to be on TV a lot back in the late 90s, and I just instantly fell in love with them. I was a big Warren Sapp guy as soon as I heard his name. I was a pre-02-03 Super Bowl champion fan, and I also loved the color red as a kiddo as well. That was the first year they switched from creamsicles to the red and pewters, so kind of a fandom by seeing them on TV a good bit, thanks to my pops. Although he was a football fan in general. Now he's a Bucs guy too. So joined a couple of Bucs guys along the way, and now here we are. What is it? 24 years later, 25 years later. So crazy times, but wouldn't want it any other way. Rooting for 1-15 teams to Super Bowl champion teams. You can't beat it. The Bucs, you never know what the hell you're going to get. I'm enjoying the ride we're on now because it's been in some dark times the past 24, 25 years.
Wow, brother, who are you telling, man? I think we both had our fair share. At least you had Brady. I mean, so, there's that. What's up, Yam? Thank you for joining us, Mr. Yam, as always.
Yeah,
appreciate you. J-Lo, what is your origin story, J-Lo? What you got?
So I originally was from Valdosta, Georgia, and when I moved here to Tampa in 2000, I grew up with a family that were season ticket holder for the Bucs. I remember my first Bucs game back in 2001 when they beat the Detroit Lions, Keyshawn Johnson with a touchdown grab. And that's pretty much how I got hooked to them. I mean, both my uncles, my aunt, they made sure that I would rock the red and pewter, nothing else. And I've been there ever since. I've been to many good games. I love the fan base. Even through the worst times, I mean, they would stick around. I mean, we had a pretty rough run from 2009 all the way to 2020 as Bucs fans, Tones would know. But yeah, I pretty much grew up with a family full of Bucs fans, taking me to the practices and all that. And like Tones, I was a big Warren Sapp guy, but Mike Allstott was my guy, man. That man, he made lives a living hell in that field, man, trucking people.
He was a Madden.
He's not our guy.
He was a Madden cover
we
guy.
We're not big fans of Mike Allstott around these parts.
Yeah, he had a lot of good critical carries. He grew up not far from here. That's another reason why I fell in love with this team. He grew up in Joliet, only about 20-minute ride from here too. So a lot of Allstott fans in this neck of the woods, for better for worse.
And let me get this straight. This is, you said red and pewter, not, I mean, you said pewter? Is that the color? What is exactly pewter?
It's like an off gold.
Okay, off gold. Okay.
Yeah.
Just want to make sure I understand when you say pewter what that really means. Okay. Thought it might have been a brownish color, but close enough.
Well, it's hard to tell, you know. You need a color specialist, I guess, to technically tell what it is, because our pewter jerseys look black when we wear them, but it's really a darker gold. So
I remember the old orange ones, you know, the Steve Grogan days where you had the old, I don't know what color those were, you know, yellowish, orangish, you know, back in the day. I love those throwbacks, but, you know, I won't see them anymore. Marcus, what's up, Marcus? SportsView 2 on Facebook. Make sure you go check him out. Also, we got the Buccateers podcast in the house, of course. Olivia, thank you for tuning in. Say happy first day of football, fellas. That's right. Yam says that Weeabo is technically someone who has never been to Japan. I, sir, am an otaku. You have to tell us what otaku is, Yam. Yam spent a lot of time in Japan, so he's our Yam in Japan guy. Okay, just getting started. So let's talk about the 2024 Bucs real quick. Walk us through your offseason, your draft, the free agency, the preseason, and here we are today. In your own words. So J-Lo, let's start with you, man. What's your impression of this 2024 Bucs team as we roll into week 1?
Well, once again, our general manager, Jason Light, he's hit a home run in free agency and through the draft. Like, I'm quite impressed on how he's kept his continuity together, keeping the same guys, you know, from last year for the most part, you know, because they all, you know, that's one thing I enjoy about Jason Light. You know, he brings back talent that belong here. We actually brought the right players, as Todd Bowles says, not the best players, pretty much what he stated. But I love the way he got addressed the O-line, because that center, after we lost Ryan Jensen, that was pretty hard to replace a man with his kind of play and caliber on the team. And Grant Barton was a great pick. I feel like he was a home run. And as far as Dallas Cowboys go, I'm so glad that dumb passing on him, because this man's going to be incredible. Might be a little rusty the first couple of games as a rookie, but I'm looking forward to watching him. Bringing back Mike Baker, bringing back Winfield, and then locking up Wirfs, you know, on these contracts. I mean, we're pretty much set. You know, I think our window is still opening for a possible Super Bowl run. That's how confident I am with the offseason we've had. You know, and plus we got a couple of players that don't belong on the team, and you already know for the right reason whenever his name pops up. But I think that we actually got a very good chance to run the tables and beat some pretty good teams. Our schedule's pretty brutal, but I'm very confident in this team with Baker Mayfield leading the way.
Yeah, fair enough. And, you know, for the record, you guys have had since the COVID season, 1 second place and 4 first places in the division. So you guys are a little spoiled there. So you got some momentum there going coming into the season.
Were you always fans of Baker Mayfield though? When he first got there, you were like, damn, move him right to Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, you know, day one when he signed here, I was, you know, you were kind of like, oh, you know, it's like going from Brady to that. But then, as you guys kind of alluded to with your quarterback now, you get on board right away. You know, that's our guy out there. So by day 2, once he was a Buccaneer, kind of set in stone with my mentality, and I was 100% on board, ordering merchandise and all that stuff already.
I like Baker, man. I like Baker. Like a lot.
I always thought that Baker was a guy who showed that he could be, you know, at least an upper half of the league quarterback. And I felt that going to Tampa Bay, he really revitalized his career after things kind of went south in Cleveland. And I think that he was a nice surprise. It was a feel-good story when he, you know, went to Tampa and succeeded. Now, my question is, because Baker's been a little bit of a roller coaster. Mm-hmm. Do you feel that he can continue his success from last season into this one? Or are there any concerns that maybe there's some of that natural that random regression. It's never been huge, but some of that little regression from up here to down here, and just some of that movement that we've seen in his performance in his career. Is there any worry that that's going to happen in Tampa?
Yeah, that's a great question. And the biggest part about success is sustaining that. You know, you're a great quarterback when you're able to sustain long-term success. When you're a roller coaster ride, you don't find yourself in one spot for too long. And that's kind of been the case with Baker Mayfield thus far. And last year he comes to Tampa. He had great moments in Cleveland as well. This is a big year too for Baker. And the Bucs made a unique clause in his contract where if need be, we could get out of it after this year without a lot of damage being done to the salary cap and to our pocketbook. So I think the Bucs ownership, the Glaziers, I think the front office is thinking like you are right now, Phil. I think they're enjoying the ride. I think they're happy to have him. They have those options in there where this could turn into a 3-year contract where he does make $105 million over the 3 years. But at the end of the day, you just don't know. That's not a guarantee you're going to get the Baker of last year. You could get the Baker of Carolina. So as much as we do love him, I think fans are at least realistic in the aspect where we're expecting great things, but at the end of the day, we know how this could go, and we're confident in our front office. And Jason Light did a great job of putting that 1 year out in his contract just in case things don't go like they did in 2023, which is a real possibility. We hope not, obviously, but it could happen. I don't see it happening, but it could happen.
Yeah, that makes sense. Couple comments in the chat. AG, what's up? AG says Baker Mayfield equals Sam Howell. We kind of had that.
I said that last year.
Yeah,
I said I saw a lot of.
I didn't want to admit it because it was when Baker had a down year, and just because they look the same build, same beard, same hair. I thought it was a lazy comparison, but it turns out there's a lot of similarities. But Sam's story still remains to be seen. You know, he might go down the Baker route of, you know, getting cast away from the team he was drafted from and then, you know, researching somewhere else. But we'll see. Rivers Reese, what's up, Rivers? Thanks for tuning in, man. Always good to see you. Deluxe, also good to see you. AG also says, let's go Big Washington 9-8 season. Let's find out. So just the inverse for you guys, edification for the 2024 Commanders. We are a roster that's been turned over about 73 or 74%, which is kind of unheard of. So to go off of everything that happened in 2023, while our natural brains want to do that, it's so difficult. So it's hard to say, well, because we did this last year, it's going to be this way this year. You know, I talk about with Dev saying we're not going to beat the Giants because we never beat the Giants, but this is a 73% turnover roster. It's so hard to do what you did. Say what when 73% of your roster is new. It's hard to use last year as a model. New owner, new coach, new GM, new D-Cord, O-Cord, all position coach. It's so hard to say. So I don't know what this 24 Commanders team is going to look like, what's going to act like. The preseason was so vanilla. We have a rookie quarterback, number 2 draft overall, Jane Daniels, as you know. We got some good studs we picked up in free agency, Frankie Louvu, Bobby Wagner, you know, Jeremy Chin, Dorrance Armstrong, Cleveland Farrell. We bust up the defensive line, you know, Zach Ertz. So we are a big question mark altogether. Yes, lots of cool pieces separately, but as a team, I don't know. Dever, Phil, I don't know if you want to reiterate on that or re-verify. But
you're really hitting the nail on the head there, Steve. I mean, we have no idea what this team's going to be, and that's the exciting part. Man, is it scary too to think, you know, we're going into a season having turned over so much of the roster in very unprecedented ways. We have no idea what to expect.
I can expect trash.
I mean, don't we always? Because it's Washington, and that's what we've been for so long. But we're in uncharted territory. New owner, new coach. 3/4 of the roster is different.
Yep.
You know, new quarterback, new everything. It's like, what's going to happen? You know, what's the plan? And, you know, is this going to mean a quick turnaround? Is this going to be a slow burn? I've said that everything's being built for 2025, but who knows?
Yeah. And real quick, let's just go with injury report here very quickly for the group. Let's talk about the Buccaneers first. So traditionally in the injury report, when players are, you know, DNPs or don't practice on a Thursday, they usually don't play on the game day, but you know, we'll see. It's still week 1, so you don't know how it goes. But you had 2 players on the did not participate or practice today. Defensive lineman Ernest Brown and defensive lineman Logan Hall.
Mhm.
Other than that, you had some guys battling through some things that you can see here. They were all full practice Wednesday, and then your kicker didn't practice today, was dealing with the illness. But for the most part, you guys are fairly healthy. Any other injury concerns, health issues that you guys were tracking in the offseason leading up to this weekend?
Yeah, well, a couple things. Ernest Brown, it does look like he might be a potential to be placed on the IR, not the season-ending kind, but he might miss up to 4 weeks. It sounds like he's battling a pretty bad rib thing of late. So the Bucs did sign a veteran defensive lineman today, and they're actually going to promote him to the active roster. And I'd imagine if Logan Hall misses this game, which it's looking like he will, I'd suspect Corey Brewer to be called up to the active roster, the big man. We had him on the pod. He's on our practice squad. So I'd imagine he gets called up. Watch out for Brewer. But other injuries that would be worth keeping an eye on, it looks like he's going to be a go now. But Yaya Diaby, our edge rusher, our supposed to be leading guy and getting after the quarterback this year. He went down early on in preseason. He missed all of preseason, all of joint practices and whatnot, the second-year edge out of Louisville, but seems like he'll be a go as of today, so that's always positive news. And then undrafted free agent cornerback Tyreek Funderburk, who actually made the active roster. He's a friend of the programs as well. It looks like he'll be a go for opening day. He missed all of preseason with an injury after playing in the first game. He missed the second and third. Looks like he should be returning. So outside of Diaby and Funderburk, I don't think there's too much of a worry from preseason lingering injuries. And then as far as Brown goes, it does unfortunately sound like he will end up on the short-term IR. And yeah, it definitely sounds like Logan Hall will be missing this one as well.
Nice.
Wait. I need you to go back and talk about the guy from Louisville.
Yeah, Diaby, man. He's supposed to be our go-to edge rusher this year. Now, he might not be 100% week one. He might not give you all the snaps, but he's a menace out there. When he plays, you will feel his pressure being felt.
Yeah.
No pun intended. He's a big guy out there.
I went to a few Louisville games. I'm a big Louisville guy.
Louisville, man. I think they're going to have another exciting year in college football this year, but
I do too.
We could save that for a rainy day.
Speaking of rainy day, that's what's going on in Kansas City and Baltimore right now. Yeb says this game is Flag City already. So yeah, it's going. I got the Ravens 27-24. I put it on Twitter, so I stamped it happening. J-Lo, any other additions for the injury report? Anything else you got?
No, Tone's pretty much covered it for the most part. I think we're gonna have pretty much all our starters ready to go. Diaby, he's a whole another man. That dude is him. From a high ankle sprain, supposedly no walking boot, and the man was ready to go pretty much. I mean, he probably could have played in the preseason. Really, they wanted to push it, but that man's gonna be something to watch, on my opinion on that. But as far as the injuries go, I think we're pretty much ready to go. Logan Hall, he's been kind of a question mark on where his role is on the team is. So with him getting hurt, doesn't really help his chances. Hopefully he'll come back healthy, ready to go. He was our first pick in the 2022 draft within the second round. So he's out to prove something. And so far he's out to a bad start, getting hurt, unfortunately.
Yeah. Fair. Dev, so for the Commanders, we got Mariota and Johnny Newton, DMP. What's your thoughts on those two, man?
I don't expect them to play anyway, so.
Yeah. Johnny Newton, we drafted out of Clemson, guys. Injuries dropped to the second, and
is he actually told he's not going to play already? Or?
I don't know.
No, because he was on a rest. You can see there, Mariota. They are not so much sure, but if you consider it, literally the injury designation includes rest in the description. So
yeah,
I'm thinking Newton. They're just like letting him. Yeah, he's not 100%. So they're letting him kind of rest up that foot. Mariota is the bigger question, which means we may go into the regular season opening game, and our backup quarterback is Jeff Driscoll, which would
is that real? I mean, you could say that, but wouldn't you feel like we're going to lose even if Mariota was in there? What's the difference?
We'll talk about that in predictions.
The idea is that neither Mariota nor Driscoll is going to play, but
right,
you never know. Quarterbacks get hurt, so
yeah. The luck was going back saying Baker was treated unfairly in Cleveland. Happy for him. Sack him, take him off, let the points soar. AG, George Allen, 71 skins. Flip the roster. It's 9-4-1, the Ram skins. Kool-Aid the Great says 2-15. y'all gonna be in the Travis Hunter sweepstakes.
Hey, man.
I'm mad my Colts gonna win in 7 or 8 games.
Talk is cheap, motherfucker.
Kool-Aid. We don't need this sort of energy this week, man. What are you doing?
Hey, I'm telling you right now, I'd rather go 2-15 than like 7-9 or some shit, dog. I'd rather, me a complete ass. Don't be a half ass.
I have seen Anthony Richardson.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's trash.
You're gonna get.
And I'm rooting for him. He's trash.
One win.
Yeah.
Nah, he's gonna make some plays, dog. But he's
gonna
make some plays. He's gonna make some plays, but he's gonna give some up too, man. He ain't gonna throw worth the shit. He's gonna make some plays.
I told y'all the hype was not real with that kid.
I believed it. I ain't gonna lie.
Hey, I think time will tell on Richardson. I think he could still be a very good QB. Now his thing is health. Will he be healthy? Will he stay healthy? Can he stay on the field? The best ability is availability. To me, that's what sets him back. So we'll see if he can stay healthy.
Here's a crazy fact on Anthony Richardson. Supposedly, this is his 18th game as a starter from high school to now. That's crazy.
It is insane.
Wow. I mean, the man can play because I'm a Gator fan. I watched him in his first start against Utah a couple of years ago. The dude can make plays, but the problem is he's just – I don't know. He needs time. He's
just so raw. He's just so raw.
Mm-hmm. And you never know what those raw guys.
Yeah.
That dude made the NFL literally one great college game. He got that one crazy-ass game in college and made the NFL. Like, he didn't do anything. I think he threw over 150 yards the rest of the year in any game. But that game, he was golden. He was like, Jesus.
Kind of like, who's the guy from South Carolina made the hit? On the
Jadeveon Clowney.
Jadeveon Clowney, man. Same thing. One play, dude. With Anthony Richardson, I mean, he has something you can't teach, though. He has that stature and athleticism. You can't teach that. But if you can harness it in the right energy, man, I mean, the sky's the limit.
Yeah.
Like Yam said, he could be fun to watch.
We're going to win 2 games.
Yeah. We'll see.
They're going to win like 4.
Tia, what's up, Tia? Thanks for joining. Tia was the winner of our Gus Farrat card giveaway a couple weeks ago. So respect, Tia. Glad you. Hopefully you got it. Phil, you sent it off to her.
It's in the mail.
There you go. Okay, matchups to watch for. Tones, we'll go back to you. So we talked about injury report. Let's just start with the Buccaneers in general. Are there any particular matchups you're looking to see between the Bucs and the Commanders come Sunday?
I'm looking forward to seeing how the Bucs youth interior O-line holds up against the Commanders' defensive front seven, their defensive line in particular. I know the Commanders cleared house a little bit last year in terms of edge rushers. You guys got rid of Sweat and not Clowney, but
Chase.
Might as well be Clowney for the hype we're talking about, Clowney. But Young and Sweat, I think you guys still have one of the best, if not the best, duo of interior defense alignment in the league with Deron Payne, with Jonathan Allen. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing 2 dominant forces like Payne, like Allen. We drafted Barton in round 1. Last year, we got Cody Mauch in round 2. He played every single snap at right guard as a rookie, which is very impressive in the NFL, playing every single snap as a rookie right guard. And then this year, we got Ben Bredesen, offensive lineman from the Giants, starting at left guard. So that's going to be an interesting fit there. So you got a rookie center, a second-year right guard, and a free agent left guard in Ben Bredesen, who did start every game for the Giants last year. Not that he was great, but take it for what you want. At least we got Wirfs to the left of him, thank goodness. But I'm interested in seeing that battle. Could Graham Barton step up to the occasion week 1 against 2 all-pro talents, Pro Bowl talents in Payne and Allen? So sign me up for that one. Love the young bloods against some more proven guys in the NFL already. I love trench battles. I think that's going to be a really fun one.
Yep. J-Lo, what about you? Any matchups you're looking forward to watching this weekend?
So I will say, as Tone just saying, our offensive line against 2 great defensive players and that interior D line. I'm going to go in the reverse with our edge rushers against y'all guys' tackles and be able to get to the quarterback. That was one of our major problems that cost us pretty much the playoff game against Detroit. We couldn't get to Jared Goff at all. So I'm looking forward to see what Yaya does in year 2. Hopefully JTS is his contract year. Let's see if he steps it up, gets after the quarterback and puts pressure on the rookie. because one thing we have history on is we love making rookies look really, really good, like all pro quarterbacks. Not that Daniels is not going to be one. I'm just saying is, in his first game, because I've been to a couple that were not very good. But anyway, I'm looking forward to see if the pass rush can get after Jaden Daniels, put the pressure on, give him that welcome to the NFL moment. Like you're not in college anymore. You're not going to be able to run around in the pros. The NFL is a lot faster than college, in my opinion. So that's what I'm looking forward to see, if the pass rush will come in and help our DBs out, because Scary Terry's another guy, man. That dude's, oof, man.
Yeah.
He's really Scary Terry to me. So
You hear that, Dev?
I remember what Dev said about him. I mean,
hey, if Terry was on Tampa Bay, which receiver would he be? 1, 2, or 3. Right.
3.
Right, and that's who y'all scared of.
Hey, he makes a good point. Hey, he's our number one, though. Number one in our hearts, too. Yam says they will be fine. Our D-line is vanilla, which is funny because the D-line might be the strongest piece on the field outside of maybe the running back room.
So that's based on previous regimes.
Yeah.
Again, and honestly, that's what I'm looking forward to, is all these new schemes and new coaching and new players versus themselves. I want to see. We know what Tampa Bay is, because Tampa Bay has made the typical changes a lot of teams make in the offseason. We've changed over 3/4 of the roster and almost the entire coaching staff.
Yep.
I need to see I need to see us versus us. Are the coaches getting through to the players? Are the players picking up the systems? Are the systems something that's going to work? I need to see all of this.
Mm-hmm. Kind of reminds me of 2012. 2012, we came into that season with Robert Griffin, and the preseason was okay, and then they just came out like, where did all that come from? We had no idea that was coming. So, Cliff Kingsbury, we'll see what he brings to the table. But Phil makes a great point. Like I said, we don't know what we know. The Cowboys defense was pretty nasty the last couple of years with Dan Quinn and Joe Witt Jr. So, I don't know. Deb, what about you, man? Any matchups you're looking forward to seeing on Sunday?
Yeah, definitely our corners against their receivers.
Yeah,
it's probably government cheese for them. Easy government bread, easy dough is what they probably gonna make against our defensive backs, man. Personally.
So our cornerbacks are Mike Sainristil, the second-round pick out of Michigan, Benjamin St. Juste, who's and Emmanuel Forbes Jr. Because if you guys been following the storyline, first-round pick out of Mississippi. Struggled last year as a rookie. He got abused by, AJ Brown multiple times. He got beat a lot. Confidence was shaken.
Got beat by AJ Brown.
Yeah, a lot of guys, but he got beat by a lot of people. So I'm with Dev. I want to see how the Bucs receivers what they do against our and I'm hoping that the D-line can maybe mitigate some of that.
I would say that Sainristil is going to hold his own.
I think their defensive line is solid. I don't think they're like. I'm not scared of Tampa Bay's defensive line as much as I am their defense as a collective, the whole 11. I do think, though, for a rookie, and, their coach is an outstanding defensive play caller, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just kind of wanting to see also what our quarterback can do against the kind of pressure he drums up. Because I think he's going to have to bring some linebackers and some DBs in on the blitz. Lucky for us, Daniels was like number 2 or 3 in college and against the pressure, 1 on pass yards per and first on like 3rd in completion percentage, like against the blitz. So I think that maybe that's in his wheelhouse. Maybe we don't want them to drop 6 back in coverage.
Yeah,
So
I will say the Bucs, they got at each level. You want to have on your defense a good person at each level, and to me, I was in love with Vita Vea when he came out. I love Antoine Winfield. And I love Levante David. So you have all 3 layers covered, at least on the defense. I think that's a sign of a good defense when you have layered talent that you can name a person. And I'm not even a Bucs fan, but I can name those guys because those guys.
I lost 2 linebackers, right?
Fantastic.
Yeah, we gained by subtraction. Devin White, you guys will find out soon.
What happened to him?
He's an Eagles problem now. So what happened? What happened with him was he started the years in the NFL, started the years on the Bucs as, a godsend. He was great, middle linebacker. He was very athletic. He was very full of energy. He made a lot of smart decisions, made a lot of splash plays. And after the Super Bowl, you kept hearing the coaching staff say, hey, some guys just aren't getting their head out of the clouds. They're just not getting with it. This was 2021. Nothing changed. Came 2022. Instead of picking up his, instead of offering him an extension, they kind of cut off extension talks. And going into last season, Devin White got pissed at that. Said even before 2023, Devin White was flirting with the Eagles, saying he looked good in green, blah, blah, blah. Last year comes around, the same old Devin White comes. He plays so bad that he eventually gets benched in favor of KJ Britt. Then the Bucs don't give Devin a contract. He's in Philly now, and it turns out, reported a couple days ago, they were trying to trade Devin White. About a week ago at this time, the Eagles were looking to get rid of Devin White. So Super Bowl champ, who was one-time second-team All-Pro, Pro Bowler, now all of a sudden he falls out of favor in Tampa, falls out of favor in Philly, and who knows. But, yeah, the Bucs kind of added by subtraction there. Getting rid of Devin White seems to be a blessing for the Bucs, and he's the Eagles' problem now, so God bless.
Yeah.
He didn't make the plane ride over to Brazil. That's how bad it is. He didn't make the plane ride over to Brazil.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm saying it's obvious he's not going to be there much longer. I feel like he's going down spiral. You know, we had high hopes for him. I mean, he showed a lot of greatness in 2020. I think it was his best year, in my opinion. But then, you know, he just started, you know, his coverage is terrible. He's lost out there without Levante David. Then he got money greed. You know, when you're agreed on money, you know, go play your contract out. That's
his first quote after getting drafted was, I don't care who pays me, I just want to get paid in this league. Like, when you're saying that a day after you get drafted, that's not a good sign.
For the record, I think, Dev, weren't you last year when our team was terrible? Weren't you on the signed Devin White train? I think.
No, I mean, yeah, maybe. I mean,
he would have been the best linebacker we had in our team. That's
right.
How bad our linebacker
right.
was.
I mean, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
I can't blame Dev either, because the media still continued to overhype him last year. Like, the national media was still treating him like he was a 2020 Devin White. They kept putting him in these conversations with top-of-the-line linebackers and stuff like that. But in reality, Bucs fans, Bucs media, we knew all too well, sadly, because it's sad. We thought he was going to be here for 10-plus years. Turns out he's already on his second franchise and just his sixth season.
He got high praise from Ray Lewis last year, saying he's one of the top 5 linebackers. I'm like, Ray, what's going on? What are you talking about? Are you watching the dude's film?
Right.
Warren Sapp was watching his film, and this is 2 years ago now, but Warren Sapp literally said, dude, if I was a coach in that room, I'd run up to him and snatch a damn captain's patch right off his chest because he was loafing so much. That's how bad it got. Warren Sapp was saying that.
Phil, you got, first off, Ryan, thanks for joining, man. You late to the show, man. We appreciate you. Old graybeard in a fantasy league, predicted to finish last. So we'll see how it goes. Phil, you got any other matchups you're interested in watching come Sunday?
I am interested to see Jaden Daniels versus a full NFL defense. His ability to read a defense, ability to make calls. We know that he's got the freedom to audible, which, hey, kind of a new concept around here. We found out that during Scott Turner's entire tenure as offensive coordinator, our QBs couldn't audible.
That's right.
Even when they had guys like Fitzpatrick and Carson Wentz, veterans, could not audible.
The control.
And then, you didn't see much. You saw audibles in the Eric Bieniemy offense, but let's face it, it was Eric Bieniemy's offense last year, which was a total fuckery.
Yeah.
And so I'm interested to see Jaden Daniels, who's been given this freedom, because apparently he's earned it. I want to see what comes of that when he has to face an NFL defense that isn't playing simple cover 2 or anything like that, but is actually coming at you and, masking schemes and doing all the things that you do in the regular season.
That's right.
And Phil, you make a great point real quick. Todd Bowles blitzes the most out of any head coach in the NFL, and his blitz packages are creative as all hell. So you're going to see 1 down lineman sometimes. You're going to see 5 down linemen sometimes. Jaden Daniels is going to have maybe the most looks all season in week 1 out of all blitzing formation.
Hey, trial by fire. If it works out, then that's great for us because that means
trial by combat.
You'll
Trial
get
by
an
combat.
opportunity to learn quick.
I'm sorry, I'm rewatching Game of Thrones for like the 10th time, so I'm into the trial by combat. Yeah, I found another creative stat on NFL Network here this morning or yesterday. Thought I'd show it to you guys here very quickly. When it goes to looking at matchups and who's going to do what here, right here. So hard to see, but the Commanders running backs got 0.0. Once again, this talking about last year, new team. However, 0.9 yards before getting hit on average during design runs. And last year, putting in the bottom 10 teams. But this is the stat I want to talk about. The Bucs defense hit opposing rushers behind the line of scrimmage 46.4% of design runs, third in the league. So essentially, half of the runs that a team makes, the Bucs were already in the backfield hitting people. That's the stat I'm trying to focus on. And that's how I want to see, because with Brian Robinson and Austin Eckler and this offensive line, that's just a big old fat question mark. I don't know how it's going to work out, but the data's on your side for the defense. Mm-hmm. So that's something that I'm interested in seeing how it turns. I just thought this was a fascinating stat, and I wanted to bring it up because I think it gives kind of credence to what your defensive line did last year anyway. So
yeah, and Jason Light loves the trenches, man. He'll continue to build those, and you'll still see that a couple of years from now, I'm sure, as well.
Yep. So let's talk about Bucs win if. J-Lo, what'd you got for us, man? The Bucs win if
they can get to the quarterback, if they can get to Jaden Daniels, put the pressure on him, not give him time to throw the ball, because our corners can be vulnerable at times, unfortunately, because if you don't get no pressure on the quarterback, then my question is, can Jamel Dean sit to his guy? Because unfortunately, he's been injury prone. He's another one's got to prove himself. Go out there and earn his money, because he's getting paid pretty good for a corner. So the Bucs win if they put the pressure on Jaden Daniels, don't give him any time to throw that ball. And if he scrambles, make sure you keep him in the negative part of the run than going positive.
Okay. Makes sense. Tell us what you got. Bucs win if.
Bucs win if Jaden Daniels is forced to make rookie mistakes, and that happens by Todd Bowles, like we said earlier, scheming up these defensive schemes that are so unique, and even veteran quarterbacks struggle with them. You've seen it in the Super Bowl. Mahomes scored 9 points against the Todd Bowles-led defense. If they can make that happen with Mahomes, and I know J-Lo alluded to earlier, rookie QBs haunting the Bucs. That was kind of 5-6 years ago. Since Bowles got here, I read a stat the other day. I think Bucs are like 19-7 against rookie quarterbacks or something like that. So it's been on our side lately in favor of the Bucs against rookie quarterbacks. So if the Bucs can make Jaden Daniels look like a rookie, I think it bodes well. Now, if we're not getting after him, if he's getting time back there, it could be a different story. But if the Bucs run the football well on offense, which I think we're going to see different this year too, a lot of people imagine Liam Cohen coming in and it's going to be this air raid offense. I think it's opposite. I think he actually creates running lanes and running schemes different. If you see the Bucs develop a ground game here, and if you see them get after Jaden Daniels, make him throw off his back foot, maybe cause a couple fumbles, maybe get a couple turnovers, I think the Bucs will win this one at home, and I think that could happen.
Okay, fair. And we kind of have not this Sunday, but we kind of have a soft spot for Todd Bowles. As you know, he was a Washington Redskins, spent most of his career as a defensive back here in Washington. I think he was number like 23 or 22 or 22 or 23.
23.
Okay, 23. One of those early 20s as a safety here. So we love some Todd Bowles here in the Redskins history. So on the inverse to that, Phil, let's start with you, man. Commanders win if.
Commanders win if.
And you guys in the chat,
Commanders win if. Say this in a succinct way. Commanders win if everything has gelled together optimally. The new players, the new schemes, everything. If everything comes together the way that we're hoping it will eventually come together, if it's come together a little ahead of schedule, I think they can win. Bucs are a good team. They're not an unbeatable team, but they're a good team. It's a good test right off the bat. There's going to be you're not going to walk away from this game thinking, well, it was just the Bucs. You can't say that. So if you beat the Bucs, it means that, something good's cooking because you beat a good team.
Yeah.
You beat a team that is playoff caliber. But I really think that there's going to be a lot of, hey, we got, making sure that, Jaden's protected, that everything's schemed up properly. Guys are in the right space. Deficiencies are masked as best as possible. If we can generate a pass rush, that would be fantastic. We don't know what's going on because we got all new edge guys.
That's right.
Dorrance Armstrong, Dante Fowler, Cleve Farrell. This is all new on the outside rush. So we'll see.
Yeah, that's fair. Dev, Commanders win if
we don't turn it over. I feel like that's the winner of the game is probably the turnover thing. I mean, Baker puts it up, man. He's a gunslinger, man. It's a chance. He's gonna give you a shot at it, man. He's gonna give you a shot at it. But can they take it though? That's the thing. And can we not turn it over? Like I said again, Jaden Daniels was a guy who only had four interceptions in college last year and 40 touchdowns. So history shows he's not a turnover machine, man. So we'll see, man. I think we win if we win the turnover battle.
Yeah.
And that starts with everyone. The running backs need to hold the fucking ball. The quarterback needs to throw it to the guys in, the Washington jerseys.
Not the pewter and red.
Yeah, not pewter.
Is that the home colors? Do you know what colors you guys are wearing?
We're wearing all white. So the Bucs usually are a rare team that wear white at home during day games.
Same with the Cowboys.
So we'll be in the jersey.
We used to be that team.
Yeah, used to be. Okay.
We try and get a home field heat advantage with how hot it is down there.
Yeah, I can't believe it. Raymond J Stadium, man. It's a good stadium. For me, I think the Commanders win if Jaden Daniels doesn't have to be Superman. Dan Quinn said a couple weeks ago, listen, we got enough veterans on this team to where he doesn't have to take the team on his shoulders and try to be everything all the time, everywhere. Hey, listen, I'm just telling you, that's what he said. Because we got enough veterans on this team that can take that burden off his shoulders. When Robert Griffin came here, he had to be everything. He had to do everything everywhere. If they can take the game and make it so Jaden doesn't have to throw 50 times, and that they can establish a running game. They can establish, like you said it before, Tone, Dev, he got the ball out the fastest in the NFL. If they can keep that up, we got a chance. We can do it. But if they can't, if he's forced to sit back there and drop back 50 times, I don't think we're going to win this game, being that's his first NFL game. So AG says the Bucs aren't that dominant. Washington will show well. We will see. When we talked about predictions here in a second, he says AG wins 26-20 Washington. Save the predictions. I got you logged, AG. We're going to talk about that at the end. Yam says the Bucs are straight solid. Good test out the gate. I agree. It'll be a very good test out the gate. So, fellas, I got some over-unders I want to run by you here very quickly. And while I do that, if you're watching from YouTube, please make sure you hit that like button for us. Over-unders, we're talking some player props here. I want to see where your thoughts are. Let's start with passing yards. J-Lo, let's start with you, man. Baker Mayfield. Now I'm talking about DraftKings. We're not sponsored by DraftKings anymore, so we're not getting paid for this. Over-under 247.5 passing yards. What do you got?
J-Lo? Maybe he's sleeping or something.
No, I'm here. I say over. I think he's going to have a fun day throwing the football around. I think run the ball might be a little rusty. So I would say over for Baker Mayfield.
Yeah. I'm thinking I think it's an under, but a good under. I think the Bucs develop a ground game. I think they're able to run the football a little bit, and I think they're able to not need to play air raid offense in order to win the football game. That's what I believe.
Okay, fair. So you got J-Lo has the over, you have the under of 247.5. All right, now to my Commanders brethren, Jaden Daniels, 220.5. Phil, over under.
I'm going to take the over.
Okay.
It's not good. That's the other thing I thought of this right as we got into this. The other thing I want to see, who the hell is going to step up to be the receiver opposite of Terry as the second target?
Zacchaeus, Brown, Luke McCaffrey's listed as the number 2 guy on the depth chart.
Should be Luke McCaffrey because it sure as hell.
I don't know.
I mean, everybody in our fan base thinks that De'Ami Brown, after in his 4th season, is finally going to show up. I just don't think it's going to be it, but I think he'll still get over with between tight ends and backs and Terry and Luke McCaffrey. I think that he can get that. I think he can get to 240 easily.
Okay, move on to rushing yards. Or sorry, Dev, what do you have over under? 220.5. Jaden.
I think he gets over 220.
Yeah, I'm taking the over as well. I think that's a very tenable number. We'll see how it goes. Okay, back to my Tampa brethren. J-Lo, let's start with you. Rashad White. They have rushing yards 58.5. Over or under?
That I can get behind. I think he can go over for sure. Definitely over 50-something yards. I think he might have a little hard time with that D-line, but I like him going over 56 yards, you said?
Yes, they have him at 58.5.
Gotcha, 58. Thank you, sir. Yes.
Yep. Okay. Tell us, what about you? 58.5, over under?
I'm going over. Last year, it's testament to our running game should be improved. I remember his over-under rush yards week 1 last year. I want to say it was like 39.5, something insanely low. Vegas knows a little bit, but I'm going over. I think he has a good game, and I think he gets a lot of touches because the backup's a rook, and the third guy was a UDFA last year. Chase Edmonds out for the year.
You got Bucky Irving, right? You got Bucky Irving back there?
Yep, Bucky is the backup now with Edmonds done for the year. So
the Oregon protege. I like him. I like him, man. I think he's gonna be returning some kicks for you guys. Maybe we'll see. Okay, fellas. Dev, we'll start with you. Brian Robinson, 42.5 yards.
Like total
rushing yards. And feel free to chime in, J-Lo and Tones, but this I figure we just stick with our own for these, just to keep it simple. 42.5. Remember, you got to divide this up by 3 because we're going to do Eckler and then Daniels right after this.
Yeah.
42.5. 42.5. Come on. No. Under. Okay. Yeah. Phil.
Over.
Okay. I got the over 2 on that one. Austin Eckler. Phil. 25.5
rushing.
We're talking rushing yards.
I'm going to take the under on that. I think you're going to see him more in a receiving role.
I'm taking the over on that one. 25 yards.
I think he gets it.
I mean, I'm probably going to go and actually log that bet here after this. Now that I see.
Yeah, I'm ready to go on that too. I'm on FanDuel now. It's not on there.
Okay, Jaden Daniels, 37.5. Phil.
Under.
Yep, I'm going with the under as well. Dev.
Who?
Jaden Daniels, 37.5.
Over. I'm going over.
Over. Okay, fair. All right, let's get back to our Buccaneers brethren. We're talking receiving yards now, just yards. Mike Evans, 67.5. I think this is pretty easy for me.
I'm going over. I'm hammering that over.
Yeah.
And
over as well.
Yeah. That's kind of a no-brainer. For Chris Godwin, they have him at 57.5. Oh my gosh.
I'm going over as well.
So now you guys know what bets to go make right after. This.
A typical Godwin game, that could be 7 grabs, 65 yards. That's just typical Godwin type game right there. Nothing flashy, but he'll get a touchdown, 60, 70 yards, 9 catches or so. Yep.
Well, they have one more for you. Your tight end, Cade Otton. I don't know much about him personally. They have him at 26.5.
That's a tough one. They do carry 4 tight ends on the active this year, so I think it's going to be more of the blocking tight ends play a factor in this one. 26.5.
26.
He'll hit that a lot this year. I don't think it happens week 1.
Okay, J-Lo.
Agreed. I say under on that one.
Okay,
for sure. I agree with Tones.
I got one more for you for receiving. Rashad White, 21.5.
Over, and I've been at a couple games where he's gotten the over by 1 catch for 30, 40 yards on a screen touchdowns. So I think that number is a little low. They like to use them a lot in the screen game out of the backfield, especially with Bucky in week 1 not being too acclimated yet. I think that's over.
Yep. Okay.
Over easily. Absolutely over.
All right. Before we leave, Tones, I know you're going to bounce here in a couple minutes. Give us your score predictions, your score prediction for the game on Sunday, just so we get that before you leave.
This is tough.
Just for the record, we'll stick with DraftKings. We'll keep it very simple. The spread is Bucs -3.5, over under 42.5.
And the spread's actually going down, which means money's coming in on Washington a little bit because the spread opened at 4, I believe, if not 4.5. So Washington is getting the money. I like this matchup for Washington. To me, it kind of feels like last year where the Bucs went to Minnesota week 1. Minnesota was coming off that playoff high. The Bucs were a team with a lot of new faces, first year with Baker Mayfield and so to speak, and they go into Minnesota week 1 last year and beat him. Now, I don't think the Commanders end up beating us. I think they do play a good football game, though. I think Dan Quinn has his guys ready to fight out there. I don't think they're going to be a pushover nor roll over against any damn buddy this year. I think they're going to be tough week in and week out. I got the Bucs winning a close one. I got them winning a slugfest and just barely covering 27-23 Bucs in a close one. I got the over hitting in this game as well. I think we see some really good football on both sides, but then again, remember week 1 nowadays with 3 preseason games, you do see a bit more rust than we're used to seeing with these guys just not getting as much reps in the offseason. So give me Bucs 27, Commandos 23 in a really tough fought battle all game.
Fair. Okay. We're not going to go the rest of us yet. Finish these over unders, but if you got to go, man, you're welcome to punch out. And I just want to get your score prediction before we left, because that's important as we continue to do this. So fella, let's finish our receiving props here for the Commanders.
I'll do one more round of over unders for the Bucs if you got them, and then I keep pushing off. Don't worry, I keep stiff arming whatever the hell I got going on.
Okay, Dev, let's talk some Terry McLaurin, 60.5.
60.5. Yeah, I think he gets it.
Yep, I agree. Phil,
I'll take the over on that too.
I think he has a really good game, actually.
Ertz, 26.5. I'm taking the over.
That's what, three first downs, basically.
Yeah, man. This is really setting up a nice parlay. If anyone's watching this show wants to go lay some on this, I think we're in a good spot here. Okay, Austin Eckler.
Pause.
Yeah, Pauls. It wouldn't be a show if we didn't give him the old balls. Okay, Austin Eckler, 19.5.
Over.
Receiving?
Over. I'm going even.
I think over. Everyone have the over on that one? Okay. And B-Rob, 9.5. Oh, dude.
Over. We already saw
this is going to be a parlay of the century, man, if we hit this. Okay, that's it for the Commanders. They didn't really give any props on anyone else, despite all of our wide receiver roles. Defensive teams, there's really no other major props to hit on. I don't think. They got quarters, first game, half, first drive, defensive special teams props. For sacks, both teams dominant. Yeah, safety. Tampa Bay Bucs to score safety. Commanders. Yeah, nothing really stands out player wise from a props that I can at least see so far. Oh, touchdown scores. They got for the Bucs, Rashad White. So we're talking first touchdown score for the Bucs. They have Rashad White in this order, plus 600. Mike Evans 750. And then Godwin at 1,100. You think that'll be the right order? You think it'd be a rushing touchdown before Mike Evans gets in?
If I'm betting, I like those Evans odds a little bit more, a little better bang for your buck. And I think I could see Rashad doing the dirty work, get into that goal line, then them throwing a fade or something of that sorts to Evans. So I would take Evans, but I think Godwin is the third option there.
Yeah. J-Lo, who would you have scoring first? Rashad White, Mike Evans, or Chris Godwin?
I say Mike Evans. Baker and him have a very good continuity, and I would go with Evans with the first touchdown grab from Baker.
Okay, fair enough. Argy Pugh says Tampa will show the word that we ain't playing. I'm guessing he's probably over here from you guys. Not sure, but Argy, thank you for tuning in. Make sure you go check out the Buccateers podcast if you're not already subscribed.
And hell, subscribe to ours too, because
While you're at it,
we're good people.
Yeah, league unity,
Yes,
unity.
that's right. Okay, now we're going to predictions. So, Tones, you gave us 27-23 Bucs, and for everyone in the chat, make sure you hit that like button for us. We'd be forever grateful. And then drop your score predictions down in the chat here, and then let us know what you think the score will end up being. Like I said before, for reference, the spread is -3.5. And then the over-under is 42. Excuse me, the spread, the total is 42.5. So that being said, J-Lo, what do you have for the score here?
I feel that it's definitely going to be probably a little bit lower scoring. I think that both defenses are going to show up, be a little rusty. So I say give me the Bucs 20, Washington 13 in a close one.
All right, 2013 Tampa Bay. Fair enough. Kool-Aid, the great Kool-Aid. You're a Colts fan, man. We do appreciate you. You got Bucs. Man, you got Bucs 30, Commanders 17. So you got a 47 total. Okay, you're going to hit the over by 4.5 points. I got you. All right, Dev, what do you got, man?
Man, I'm not gonna have us winning a lot this year. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. But at least not till I see a few games. But I think we might have a shock in our situation, man. Just because I think we could catch the Bucs slipping because they don't know. I don't even know. And we listen to them and watch these motherfuckers every day. I don't know what we're going to be running on offense or defense. I have no idea what we're going to do on offense or defense. So I know the Bucs have no idea either. So I'm gonna say we're gonna sneak one out, man. 24-21, good guys, man. And I probably won't pick too many more upsets. We should not win, but I think we do.
And he never does. So Dev has 24-21 Tampa. My man Yam has 24-21 Tampa. So there.
No, I got us winning.
No, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yam has 24-21 Tampa. Dev has 24-21 Washington.
Yeah.
So all right.
I think we'll pull it out. I don't know how.
Phil,
but
what you got?
I have, just so you know, if you want to look historically speaking, in our last 4 matchups with the Bucs, we are 3-1. If you want to go back a little bit further in history, we are 4-2 in the last 6. So we do have a pretty good streak going. I don't think that carries over today, but here's the thing: the Bucs in Washington, whether it be Commanders, football team, Redskins, for the past 30 years, there's been this weird, we always catch each other in these dog fights, right? Even the playoff game, where, Heineke became everybody's darling for whatever reason. But I don't think we quite pull this one out, but it's going to be encouraging. Bucs were a playoff caliber team last year. We were not. 26-24 Bucs. So I'm
26-24 Bucs.
So I am going against the spread, and I'm taking the over.
All right, let me make sure I log that. So you said 26-24 Bucs. 26 that's a very tenable number. It's a very, very unorthodox number. Okay. I have this, so the spread's 3.5. I have this being a close game. I'm gonna hit the under, but I got 27-24 Tampa. Just because once again I don't know. I'm relying on data that's already out there for the Bucs. Our team's a big question mark. I'm going 27-24 Tampa. So just as the chat goes, I'm gonna read these. We have for the Bucs, we have Tones, myself, Phil, J-Lo, Yam, and Kool-Aid. That's 6. And for the Commanders, we got AG, Dev, and Rivers with predictions for Washington. So it's a 6-3 lineup. If anyone does hit this, I will say, we like to reward people on this show. So I got a signed Emmanuel Forbes helmet that I just picked up that we will send you if you do hit this score. J-Lo and Tones, I don't know if you would want this if you do win, but hey, we'll spread the love, man. If you're down, we always like to play along with everyone if you can make it. So pretty fair spread in the chat here for the group. So Tia has a 17-20 Bucs. Okay, Tia got 20-17 Bucs. You're gonna hit the under 2. Okay, fair enough. All right, that's good stuff, fellas. All right, Tones, man, we appreciate you tuning in, man. We always enjoy talking with you guys, man. Ever since we hooked up, maybe year before last, I'm not sure. It's been a good relationship. We've been continuing, so I hope we can continue this. Best of luck to you on Sunday, and it's been a pleasure, man.
It's always fun with you, gentlemen. You three are great guys, and sadly, I got to go, but J-Lo will stay, and you guys are welcome to join us. If any of you can make it Saturday morning, feel free to hop aboard and talk over there with us. That's going to be fun as well. So, you guys are awesome, man. We've been watching you guys, and, just because y'all are Washington, we still watch from afar. So it's been a pleasure. It's been an honor. Bucs fans listening, make sure you do subscribe to their podcast, and make sure you hit that notification bell as well so you guys can catch these guys every time they go live on the YouTube. I'm looking forward to many more times to talk down the years, fellas. It's always a treat, and you guys are good guys for being Commanders guys, Redskins guys.
The football gods keeps us never too far from each other as far as franchises go. So
yeah, we're all not alcoholics and drunks, according to what people say about us.
Yeah, people think. I mean, as I drink some bourbon and drink some other beverages here, but
hey, the cup says Jameson, but I swear it's not.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I can't say that. Ryan said, "Great guest, good back and forth." Yeah, we appreciate it. J-Lo, any parting shots before we end this? We do always like to end very quickly. Any good news with anyone in the chat here? We'll extend it to you guys very quickly. We like to end the show on a positive note in the upbringing. Do you guys have any good news in your lives you want to share, regardless of what it is? Not football related, could be family related, man. That's how we like to end the show on a good note. You guys got anything? Any positivity you want to spread before we shut this thing down?
I got a NBA 2K. It's pretty fun.
There you go.
Yeah, I haven't played really Madden since then, but maybe once.
Tones, J-Lo, you guys got any positivity you want to share with us, man?
Some positivity is, football is back. Just watching the Thursday night game is awesome, man. But I will say this in life, life's too short, so football's going to fly by. Just make sure your ass is in your chair week 1, wherever the hell you're watching, whatever you're cooking, whatever you're drinking. Enjoy the hell out of it, because before you know it, we'll be talking draft and bullshit again way down the road. So just lock in and enjoy this, man. We don't get a lot of games in our lives for football, that is.
Yeah.
So enjoy it.
Straight up. What about you, J-Lo?
Just thankful, everyone's doing well and good health for one thing,
Yeah.
Like Tone said, life is too short. We all go through.
Well, J-Lo's a Gators fan, so he's just lucky.
Bro, I'm sorry. At least you're not an FSU. At least not an FSU fan.
ACC.
Yeah, sorry. I know it was positivity, but what can I do?
ACC.
I do want to say thank y'all 3 for having us on.
Yeah.
I always enjoy chopping it up with y'all. Y'all guys are great.
Yeah.
Dev, you bring so much comedy to my life, bro. I'm just saying, not disrespect to the others. Y'all guys are great too. But
But I'm the best, he said. You see, he froze.
Smoke weed every day.
That's right. Let's
he
go.
said I'm the best. You heard him say it. Everybody,
it wouldn't be a show without Dev. It would not be a show without Dev. That's right.
We probably have more monetization without Dev, though. I promise you that.
Yeah, that's true. That's how we get down.
my man's eating the pizza during the pod. I love it.
That's right.
Yeah, and some wings.
Go feel it, man. Just go and eat it.
I noticed the wings, man. Those look good.
Yam's going to the home opener.
I smoke bud on here, but I was trying to be nice to
That's
you guys.
true. Yam. Hey, Yam, I will be at the home opener. We'll be in the command corner tailgate in the red zone lot. I'm going to team up with Deuce, and I'll be throwing that on the grill. So make sure you come out to the. I'll get you offline, man. We'll link up at the home opener and.
You going to the home opener?
By the way, coming soon for the Commanders Day at.
Yep. So quick positivity for us.
Stadium. I gotta get used to saying that.
Yeah.
Northwest Stadium.
We just got we partner with the Washington Commanders. We just got the link. We'll be putting it out here probably tomorrow. Discounted tickets to the October 20th Panthers game. We got the Matt hookup. Tickets are about 25% off through our link that we're going to provide to the team. That's the Darryl Green jersey retirement ceremony on October 20th.
Oh, y'all got to get it on that.
20 p.m. Versus the Panthers. So it should be a pretty they're not very good. We'll just leave it at that. I think the Bucs probably thrash them twice a year anyway. So yeah, that's what I'm going for. All right. We do appreciate you guys. Hey, real quick, let's plug the Buccateers podcast. Where can we find the Buccateers, and where can anyone who else watch it, hit that sub button for you guys as well?
Hey, no, first tell me how you come up with the name.
Hey, well, it started with three of us. So the original name for about a half a season was the Three Buccateers, kind of like the Three Musketeers type shit, little corny, but what can you do? But then, people kept coming and going. So I'm like, I'm dropping the three. We're just going Buccateers strictly. But you guys can find us on Twitter X, whatever the hell y'all call it, at Buccateers, BUCCATEERS. We're on Instagram at Buccateers Pod. And then we're on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, all that good stuff as well at Buccateers Podcast. And then on Facebook, we partner with Bucs Life LLC. You can find us on Facebook over there as well.
Very good. All right. And you can see your X handles are down in your, for the audio crowd, it's at Tampa Tones, TONES, and at JLo Tampa 813. So, fellas, hey, we do appreciate you joining us, man. This was a blast. I always love chopping it up with the enemy intel, talking about the Bucs, the other side. We could talk about the other team all we want, but you guys have the knowledge that we don't have, and it's always good to see the contrast of where each other stands. So, may the best team win this weekend, and we'll just go from there. So, we appreciate you guys. And everyone in the chat, thank you very much for tuning in. We'll see you guys Monday for the post-game live stream. Hopefully it'll be a dub, but it's the NFL. Any given Sunday, anything can happen. But we do appreciate you guys tuning in. Thank you very much. Stay tuned for that link we'll be putting out tomorrow on all our social media platforms. Make sure you hit that link and get your discounted tickets if you want to join us come October 20th for that Command This Day at Northwest Stadium. Still hard to say. Like
weird to say.
Kanye building.
It went from FedEx Field to Commanders Field, now to Northwest Field. So yeah, I don't know. All right, guys, we're out of here. Thank you so much. If you guys stick around for just a second after the show, we'll talk for a second. All right, peace. Inhale. Yeah.